Thanks for joining me. This will be an approximately 25-minute session. We're going to launch right into the asanas. So if you'd like to take a moment now, you might pause the video and do a centering exercise, a breathing exercise, perhaps a pranayama, and then start again. We're going to start with our hands and knees on the ground with our wrists directly below our shoulders and our knees directly underneath our hips. Press actively down into the ground. Flatten the back. Press a little bit into the tops of the feet so you feel your core engage. Maintain that engagement as we begin to move. With your next exhale, tuck the tailbone, pressing even more into the hands. Arch the spine up towards the sky, the chin moving closer to the chest. With the inhale, draw the chest forward, raise the tailbone up and arch the spine down. Exhale, return to that first posture, arching the spine up. And with your inhale, draw the chest forward, open the shoulders and press the chest in between the shoulders. Keep moving at the pace of your breath. Exhaling, pressing the hands and knees away from each other. And inhaling, drawing the hands and knees towards each other, although obviously they won't move. Move with your breath. Gently warming the spine up. Being very cognizant of what's happening in your core. Even when you're arching your spine down, you still feel that engagement in the core, albeit a very gentle engagement. One more inhalation, and use the following exhalation to come to center, and we'll go side to side. With your next exhale, look over your left shoulder, press your hips towards the left, feel a little bit of a lateral bend. Inhale back to center and across, and then with the exhale, go into the posture looking over the right shoulder, going back and forth. A gentle lateral bend in the spine. You might feel a gentle stretch in the neck as well. And always moving with the breath. Good. And with your next exhale, finish, and then with the inhale, come to center. Tuck the toes underneath the feet, press into the hands, and begin to bring the weight off of the knees. Pressing deeply into the ground, tucking the tailbone slightly so the back is flat. Don't allow the face to collapse towards the floor. Draw the chin towards the chest, just slightly lengthen through the neck. So the neck feels like a long, straight extension of the spine. You should really feel your core working to hold this posture. And if it's too much, you're welcome to bring the knees down and just bring a little bit of the weight off of the knees. The pressure should be even through all of the fingers, the palm and the thumb, so you're not just pressing into the outsides of your hands. And your elbows are slightly turning to point towards your knees. Good. Release down, move around a little bit. Exploring, maybe moving side to side, maybe twisting the spine a little bit, or arching it side to side. Just kind of explore your body and feel the different joints in your body. And then we'll go into it one more time. Tucking the toes again, the feet are straight back from the knees, press into the hands, and bring the knees off the ground, or at least some of the weight off of the knees. Feel your core is working. If you want to make this more challenging, you're feeling all right, exploring, extend your right foot back and hold it for 2 breaths. Keeping the right knee pointing down towards the floor, squeezing that heel up, bring that foot back down, and then extend the left. Imagine you're pressing into a wall behind you. You're still keeping your tailbone tucked and the hips are level. And then bring that foot back. One more breath here. and then lower down. Sit back on your feet, a little stretch for the feet. Take the hands and shake out the wrists. And then take the hands and make circles with the wrists. Good. And then come back onto your hands and knees. Tuck the toes underneath if they're not, and come into your downward facing dog. Make it a gentle downward facing dog. You can walk the dog, you can shake out the head, shift the hips, feel around, and again explore the sensations in the body. As always, on the mental level, we're trying to focus on feeling, on experiencing what we're doing with our body, rather than following the mental monologue that often takes us away from the present moment. Nothing we need to plan or do or think about right now other than the yoga practice. And then look forward, press into the hands, tuck the tailbone, engage the core, and walk the feet forward. And come into a half lift, touching the fingertips on the shins or on the floor, chin tucked, spine long and flat, parallel to the floor. With your exhale, fold down. With your inhale, bend a little bit in the knees and come up into a gentle back bend, chest raising up towards the sky. Exhale the hands down to the center of the chest, and we'll flow through a series of sun salutations. With your next inhale, send the hands up into a gentle back bend. Fold with your exhale with perfect control, moving slow enough so you feel yourself moving through space. Inhale into your half lift, core engaged, feel that connection between the hips and the front of the ribs, and lower down with your exhale. Inhale, just a gentle cobra. Bring the head down, press back to downward facing dog. Look forward, step the feet in between the hands. Inhale into your half lift. Fold with your exhale. And reverse swan dive up. Chest raising towards the sky. Exhale the hands down to the center of the chest and keep moving. Inhaling into your back bend. Exhaling to fold, tracing a huge circle with your fingertips. Inhale, half lift, core engaged, long spine. Step or float the feet back and slowly lower down, the elbows tracing along the ribs. Point the toes back, come up into a gentle cobra, feeling the deep back muscles work. Bring the head down, press back to your downward facing dog. Look forward, step or float the feet in between the hands. Inhale into your half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive up into your back bend. Exhale the hands down. One more, we'll keep flowing. This time we'll add upward facing dog. Coming into your back bend with your inhale, fold with your exhale. Inhale, half lift. Step or float the feet back and slowly lower. Maybe you hover for a moment before pressing up into upward facing dog. Exhaling back to downward facing dog. Look forward, step or float the feet, and come into your half lift. Fold with your exhale. Reverse swan dive up into your back bend. Exhale the hands down to the center of the chest. Good, hold the hands there, pressing into the hands, feeling the collarbones are spreading wide, as well as the scapula. Feel that the shoulder blades are opening apart as well, almost like you're pressing your shoulders in opposite directions away from your center line. We're going to move through a series of sun salutations, adding details, holding certain postures a little bit longer. And you're always welcome to take a break or go into a more challenging variation if you'd like to. With your next inhale, send the hands up into your back bend. Fold with your exhale. Inhale, half lift. Step or float the feet back. Hold in your plank. Tuck the tailbone. Pull the hands towards the feet. The back is flat and the chest is moving away from the floor. The neck is long. If you want to make this more challenging, raise the right foot a few inches off the ground. Keep the right knee pointing down towards the floor. Imagine you're pressing into a wall behind you with the right foot, and at the same time pulling your hands and your left toes, your left foot towards each other. And bring that foot down. Raise up the other foot. Or just stay in your plank if that's challenging. And bring that foot down. One more inhalation. And then with your next exhalation, slowly lower. Shoulders stay away from the ears as you go down. And they stay away as you inhale into your upward facing dog, pressing the tops of the feet into the floor. Exhale back to downward facing dog. And then look forward and step or float the feet in between the hands. Drop the butt down, bring the big toes to touch each other, touch the fingertips to the floor, and then raise the hands up overhead in your awkward or chair pose. The tailbone stays tucked. You're feeling that connection between the lowest ribs and the front of the hips. So the back is fairly flat. It's not a back bend, or at least it's a very gentle back bend if at all. Your shoulders are comfortable, so they're not squeezing up. They're in a comfortable position and the palms are facing towards each other. Go a little bit deeper. Feel your legs burn. The weight's primarily in the heels. The neck is comfortable. If there's tension in the neck, let it release. And then with your next exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive up into a back bend. The hips go forward a little bit. Exhale the hands down to the center of the chest. Inhale back up into your back bend. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Step or float the feet back. Exhale, lower and hover for a few breaths, tucking the tailbone. The neck is still long, elbows are still aligned, close to the ribs. And don't let your chest touch the ground. If you need to bring the knees down, do so. Keep the tailbone tucked. We'll hold here for 3, 2, and 1. With your next inhale, press up into your upward facing dog. Exhale back to your few breaths here, pressing the hands down into the floor, rotating the elbows to point down towards the floor as well, spreading the shoulders wide. So instead of pressing the shoulders up towards the ears, they're moving away from the ears, but at the same time you're still lengthening through the spine. Start with a little bend in the knees, and then once you feel a good position in your upper body, then you can start to draw the heels down towards the floor and the tailbone up towards the sky, deepening the stretch in the backs of the legs. Look forward, step or float the feet in between the hands. Drop your butt down again. This time raise the hands up overhead. We're going to go into Warrior 3. So extend your right foot back, touch the toes to the floor, and then slowly come forward, bringing the right leg and the arms and the torso in line with the ground. Feel that core engagement. Try to point the right knee down towards the floor. Choose your focal point ahead of you on the floor and find your balance. And if you want to make this more challenging, bend the knee, the left knee, and do a few one-legged squats in Warrior 3. If you feel tension in the neck, excess tension, let it release. Try to find the efficiency so you're only using as much energy as necessary to hold the head up and the neck feels long. Good, one more. And then come back into your awkward pose and we'll go to the other side. Send the left leg back and slowly pitch forward, bringing the torso and the left leg and the arms in line with the ground. Left knee's pointing down. Find your balance here. And just be in the posture, experiencing it for a few breaths. And if you want to add the dynamic movement, you can bend the right knee and do a few one-legged squats in Warrior 3. Good, and last one, and then with control, come back into your awkward pose. With your next exhale, slowly fold. Forward fold for a few breaths, our first somewhat deep stretch. Open the feet about shoulder width apart. And with your next inhale, extend the top of the head away from the hips. Exhale, fold a little bit deeper. We'll take about 7 breaths here. You can lengthen through the spine with the next inhale. Exhale, go a little bit deeper. Engaging the muscles in the front body, pulling the kneecaps up towards the hips, raising the tailbone up towards the sky, and deepening into this forward fold for a few breaths. Press into the balls of the feet, feel that connection to the earth, and deepen in for 2 more breaths. And then we'll come out slowly, bending the knees with a deep inhalation. Slowly roll yourself up from the bottom to the top so the head is the last thing to roll up. And then bring the shoulders back. Let them rest down and take a few breaths in Tadasana mountain pose, feeling the effects of what we've done thus far. And with your next exhale, float the hands to prayer. Inhale into your back bend. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Step or float the feet back. Come into your plank, and we're going to go into side plank, but we're going to do it in a slightly dynamic way. So come onto your right foot, sending the left foot up into the air. Tuck the tailbone. Lengthen from the heels to the top of the head. And then reach the left fingertips up towards the sky, rooting the right arm down. So we'll make this a little bit dynamic by adding a tiny bit of movement. If this is too much, you can always bring the left foot onto the floor or the right knee down. But to make this a little bit more challenging, a little bit dynamic, we're going to exhale and lower just an inch, and then inhale and raise up a little bit higher. Exhaling, inhaling, raising up. Feel your right hand and your right foot pull towards each other as you engage along the right side of your torso. Feeling the obliques really working. Let's do 3 more. Exhaling, lowering, inhaling, raising the hips a little bit higher. Good, last one. And then look down and bring to the other side. Raising the right hand up, rooting down, establishing your position before you begin the dynamic movement. Tailbone tucked, feeling that length between your head and your heels. And then when you want to add the movement, exhale, lower down just an inch. Inhale, raise up higher than your initial position. And move with the breath. Pulling the left hand towards the feet. And look up to the extent that it's comfortable for your neck, without straining, without any pain, without any excess tension. One more. And then bring the right hand down, come back into your plank. Inhale, and with your next exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Inhale the right foot up into the air. Exhale it forward in between the hands. Inhale up into your warrior 1 or crescent. Exhale into warrior 2. Inhale the back hand up and over. Exhale, lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Inhale the left foot up into the air. Exhale it forward in between the hands. Inhale up into crescent or warrior 1. Exhale into warrior 2. Inhale the back hand up and over so that you can exhale down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Good, and then we'll take a few breaths here, fingers spread wide, press down into the ground. Wrap the shoulder blades around your torso, around the ribs, creating space in between the shoulder blades, and then breathe into that space. Fill that space with your breath in your middle and upper back. At the same time, drawing your chest towards your knees and lengthening through the backs of the legs as well as through the spine. The neck is relaxed and covered. Look forward, step or float the feet in between the hands. Inhale into your half lift. Exhale, fold. And inhale up into your back bend. Exhaling the hands down to the center. Inhale the hands back up into your back bend. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Step or float the feet back. Exhale, lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Inhale the right foot up into the air. Send it forward, same flow. Inhaling up into runner's lunge or warrior one, and then exhaling into warrior two. Inhale the back hand up and over so you can exhale to lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Inhale the left foot up, squeeze it up high. Exhale it forward in between the hands. Inhale into runner's lunge or warrior one. Warrior two. Inhale, windmill the back hand up and over so that you can exhale down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Look forward, step or float the feet in between the hands. Drop the butt down. We're going to come into awkward, but we're going to add a little bit of a dynamic movement to this. Send your arms out to the sides. Raise the right knee off of the ground. And then extend that leg back. Bring the knee out to the side. Bring it forward and send it through. Find your balance. Trying to bring the weight into the ball and the heel of the left foot rather than the toes. And keep moving the knee in a circle. The largest circle you possibly can. Notice that when you bring the right leg back, you have the option of squeezing the glute to raise the heel up high. Do that. I hope you trace a bigger circle. Choosing a focal point on the floor in front of you. If it's available, go a little bit deeper. And then pause and go in the other direction. Good. And then bring that foot down. You have the option of bringing the hands up overhead. That's probably more challenging. Bring the left knee, send it out, and bring it back and through. I encourage you to link the movement to your breath. You can inhale out to the side and exhale to come through. Tracing the biggest circle you can. And then pause and go the other direction. One more time. Good, and then bring that foot down. Coming back into your awkward pose with your exhale, fold. With your inhale, reverse swan dive up. Come into your back bend. Exhale the hands down. We'll keep flowing, inhaling into your back bend. Exhale to fold. Inhale, half lift. Step or float the feet back. Exhale, lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. We're going to do a dolphin, but with a associated. So come first into dolphin, bringing the elbows down, either with the palms down or interlocking the fingers, your choice. And the elbows are in line, so the elbows aren't wider than the shoulders. Your toes are still tucked. And then with your next inhale, slowly go out over your fingers. With the exhale, bring it back to the initial position. You can go a little bit further forward. Maybe the chin makes it over the hands. Maybe you can bring the nose close to the ground or even touch the ground. Timing the movement with the breath, feeling your shoulders work. We'll do 5 more of these. And your back is not arching. Constantly feeling that connection between the lowest ribs and the front of the hips. It's almost like you've got a belt on. You've got a band of muscle encircling your torso, your abdomen. Feel that engagement. And we'll do 1 more. Good. And then press back up into your downward facing dog. Good. Inhale the right foot up into the air. Exhale it forward in between the hands. Inhale coming up into your runner's lunge. Exhaling into your warrior 2. Inhaling the back hand up and over so that you can exhale down. Inhale upward facing dog. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Inhale the left foot up into the air. Exhale it forward in between the hands. Inhale up into your warrior 1. Exhale into your warrior 2. Inhale the back hand up and over so that you can exhale down. Inhale upward facing dog. Exhale back to downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. Heels coming down towards, moving towards the knees. Neck is comfortable. And feel your breath. Good. And then look forward. Step or float the feet in between the hands. Inhale into your half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, raise up into your back bend. Exhale the hands down to the center of the chest. Relax the hands by the sides. Just 4 more stretches before we finish. With this session, wide, point the toes slightly inwards. Bring your hands to your hips. Chin away from the chest, core gently engaged, and slowly fold forward. You can use a block underneath your hands, or you can bring your hands down to the floor. With your inhale, extend the top of the head away from the hips. With your exhale, fold a little bit deeper, pressing the floor. You can do that again, inhaling, lengthening through the spine, exhaling to fold. Grabbing the outsides of the feet if that's available, if you want to do that to intensify the stretch. But don't pull primarily with the arms. Most of the stretch comes from engaging the front body. So pull the kneecaps up towards the hips. Feel your cores engaged. Keep lengthening through the spine as you fold forward. Engaging the front body to lengthen the muscles in the back body. Feeling the feet press into the ground. Lengthen through the spine. Fold, perhaps a little bit more. And then bring the hands to the hips. Bend the knees just slightly and slowly raise up. Bring the hands behind the hips. Bring the elbows towards each other, opening up the chest. Press the hips forward. Raise the chest up towards the sky to come into a moderate back bend. If it's comfortable, you can let the head go back to rest on the scapula. If not, don't worry, don't force that. Keep pressing the chest up towards the sky for 1 more breath. And then slowly come back up to neutral spine position. Bend the knees, step the feet together, stand tall, And we'll go into a final twist, a gentle Qigong style twist. Open the feet about shoulder width apart, maybe a little bit wider. Bend the knees slightly, tailbone tucked underneath you, your head over your hips. Relax the arms. We're going to twist side to side. The lead arm is going to come around and the back of the hand is going to slap just above the hip, kind of the kidney area. The following hand will come and slap on the shoulder. And we'll just twist from one side to the other, looking over the shoulder, keeping the head aligned over the hips. And if everything feels good, you can intensify the twisting, looking further around over your shoulder, out of the corners of the eyes. Few more twists, and then let the twisting slow down until finally the arms rest by the sides. Step the feet together. Take a moment to feel the body, feel the arms, and finally we'll roll the neck, bringing the chin down, rolling the head to the left slowly, raising the chin up towards the sky when you roll the head back, so that you don't collapse in the cervical spine, protecting your neck, making big wide circles, and then pause the chin in the middle of the chest, and then go the other direction. And the next time that the chin comes to the center of the chest, pause. And then raise the head up. Unless you feel dizzy, close the eyes. Take a few breaths, just feeling the body. Good. We'll end the session here. If you're going to go back to the rest of your day, you might want to take a few moments in Shavasana in a comfortable position, laying down on the ground or on your yoga mat, just to let the body absorb what's happened and create a transition between your practice and your normal life. If you'd like to continue now that your body is hopefully warmed up and do some deeper stretches, I'll post another session that's more appropriate for once you're warmed up and if you want to go into a deeper set of deeper opening postures. Either which way, enjoy the rest of your day, and thanks for practicing with me. Namaste.